Right then, Liverpool with a 4-0 win over Bournemouth, are 5 points clear of Manchester City now in the Premier League. We discussed about how they would cope with Mo Salah. Well, in the end, it didn't really matter because they were so good. Jota and Nunez had dominated things in the second half, and we learnt more today about Salah's injury. This is what his agent came out and said. Mohamed's injury is more serious than first thought, and he'll be out for 21 to 28 days and not 2 games. Obviously, the scenario was go back to Liverpool, get proper brilliant treatment there, and then return to the African Cup of Nations for the knockout stages. It's a qualifier. Egypt are qualified for the knockout stages. However, the tournament is not going to. It's going to be over by the time he's fit, Stevie.
To be honest with you, I'm not even thinking about Egypt.
Oh, there you go. It's all about. But then you've got Darwin Nunez putting in the numbers.
Not for 1 second did I think about Egypt. I was thinking about Liverpool and Mo Salah.
But from what you witnessed yesterday and how good they were without him, has it given you more hope, if it's a long-term absence for Salah, that you can push City all the way?
Well, I think when you ask a question and you're not sure of the answer, when you get what you think is an answer, then it makes you feel better. So there's no question. Had Liverpool drawn 0-0 with Bournemouth, I mean, you can guarantee the whole weekend would have been spent going, oh, Liverpool with Salah.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's nice that we thought, certainly I thought, that they had enough in that front line without Salah to produce chances and goals. And it's nice that they've actually gone ahead and done it. But as I said yesterday, I think the most important thing is, for Klopp, he might have figured out how to play the three of them. Because at the start of the game, Jota was through the middle, Diaz was on the right, and Nunez was on the left. He changed it at half-time, and you saw what happened in the second half with the three of them in the positions they were in. So, yeah, things are looking good, but still a concern.
Well, I think that is interesting. I was listening to your debate, and you're talking about that. I think that without Salah, they can be there. They can be up there with Manchester City. And I'm not saying Arsenal is gone, but it seems that the consistency is not there. So let's say this is between Liverpool and Manchester City. But to win the Premier League, you need Salah.
What's been interesting and we've discussed a lot, Mario, of late, is Virgil van Dijk being back to some of his very best recently. No coincidence that we're seeing that go along with Liverpool in these clean sheets.
Yeah, of course. Look, if you defensively, when you don't concede, your confidence side goes up. I think what Van Dijk had, of course, we know about the injury. Also, the way they talk about him in Holland, because they ask him to do certain things in Holland that he doesn't have to do for Liverpool. For example, being on the ball, he doesn't have to be the guy that dribbles in the play and then, be more active and even sometimes do the things what the midfielder needs to do. That's what the Holland national team wants him to do. But that's not really Van Dijk's game. Van Dijk's game is like being in control and try to dictate and telling people where to be. I think that's what his strength is. But when you ask him to do different things, then you're going to get situations like this. But now, the confidence in the team, you're playing well. This is the team also that I said, if you want a problem, I think Liverpool has the strength and the energy and also the focus of what Klopp has, the determination. I think that definitely can create a problem because everybody's, of course, worried about Man City getting at the run. But we still have to see if that run is really coming, and including Liverpool holding on to a good form.
And it has such an effect, I imagine, Ali, when you've got Van Dijk, your leader, the man you look to when you're in trouble, back to his best, influences everyone, as opposed to when we've seen him over the last couple of seasons, where he hasn't been, and he's almost like dragging down everyone else with you.
Well, it simplifies everybody else's job. Right, if you have Virgil van Dijk back to his best, you trust that he's going to make the right decisions, and you trust the message that he's given you. And you know that this guy, if indeed for whatever reason it breaks down, that he does have the sort of quality to cut out any sort of danger. When you have that, it makes things easier for everybody defensively. It gives you confidence as a group. It gives you confidence as a goalkeeper. It gives you confidence through the midfield. You feel like you can go press higher up the field because you don't feel like you have to protect the back line nearly as much, which then allows you to win the ball higher up the field and create chances from higher up the field. So, look, if you have Virgil van Dijk playing at his best, Liverpool is a different team and a much better team.
The former Liverpool captain, just Mario, as you're on, how has the signing of Jordan Henderson been received at your old club Ajax?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Why? Because Ajax normally they go around and getting younger players to get involved the first team. So getting Henderson in is because the team is very young. You understand? Defensively, they were on the age of around 19, I think. So their captain is a young boy coming through Hato, 19 years old. So for that situation, for Henderson to come in, they spend more money than, getting normally a club that develop and sell. So getting him in, he really wanted to play for Ajax. So that was the advantage for Ajax. And other teams tried to get involved. But they brought in a guy that was taking care of the recruitment, and he wanted that deal to happen. So flew over to England, sat down, and by my understanding, Henderson also uses the brother of Trent Alexander-Arnold as an agent. So they got the deal done. And now now they got to wait for the papers. So that's why the last game against RKC, what they won, Ajax, he couldn't be involved. So the next one is going to be Heracles. And that is a whole different ball game. For him to go there, yes, he will have more, maybe, I don't know how the fan in Saudi Arabia. But coming into Holland, you will have the fan base because when Ajax turns up, but the only thing is that he will get a big surprise when he's playing teams like that because everybody that he's going to face now, Henderson, with a great career he already had, is want to prove a point and will show themselves and try to really make him feel like, hey, what are you doing here? We want to test you. So I hope he understands that because they need his experience. He will need to talk to the younger team, and he probably will expect them to play the football that he's used to when he was playing at Liverpool. He had all guys around him who were great footballers. And Ajax, some are good, some have to learn a lot. And that's why it will be a father figure coming into a football team.
Mario, as always, thank you very much for joining us. Mario's old side, of course, in action tomorrow with a 1-0 deficit as they take on Middlesbrough in the second leg of that Carabao Cup semi-final. That game live on ESPN Plus 24 hours later. We're at Craven Cottage, Fulham against Liverpool. Fulham 2-1 down against Jurgen Klopp's side.